Assalamu alaikum, sisters. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen wa salatu wa salam ala Rasul Kareem. Welcome to the Most Darun show. Just before we introduce ourselves and get the show going, let's actually remind ourselves the purpose of our existence with a beautiful recitation by Sheikh Ahmad Amir, rahimullah. Should be on your screens right now.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم من جاء بالحسنة فله عشر أمثالها ومن جاء بالسيئة فلا يجزى إلا مثلها وهم لا يظلمون قل إنني هداني ربي إلى صراط مستقيم دينا قيما ملة إبراهيم حنيفا وما كان من المشركين قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت وأنا أول المسلمين قل أغير الله أبغي ربا وهو رب كل شيء ولا تكسب كل نفس إلا عليها ولا تزر وازرة وزر أخرى ثم إلى ربكم مرجعكم فينبئكم بما كنتم فيه تختلفون وهو الذي جعلكم خلائف الأرض ورفع بعضكم فوق بعض درجات ورفع بعضكم فوق بعض درجات ليبلوكم فيما آتاكم إن ربك سريع العقاب وإنه لغفور رحيم صدق الله العظيم.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to Easy Talk, the Most Darun show ever. anywhere on this planet with me, Captain Caveman, and
with me.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And
I think I overstepped my mark, I reckon.
yeah, you got.
Go on, Abdul Bhai, go on. I defer to you, brother.
Anyway, you done it. Yeah, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. This is Brother Abdul, and I'm still here, and it's quite easy. It wouldn't have been easy. I would probably have fallen asleep, but, I'm still here.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is myself, Muhammad Abul Kalam. Good to see you all, guys. Good to see you all. Alhamdulillah.
And just before we start, let's just take some salams from the listeners, Kalam.
Yep, absolutely. So Tahura Khatun is saying Assalamu alaikum. Mahbub Hussein is saying Kitaba. Khalid is watching. Shah Yusuf is watching. Rabia Ali is saying salam, everyone. And we've got a few people who are watching, so we'd like you all to share the link and get the numbers up, because tonight is one of the nights of Ramadan. It's a late one as well.
I thought you were going to say something profound then. Yes, so all those people watching, just copy the link and inshallah share amongst your friends and families. We need to hit bigger numbers. So just before we get the ball rolling, remember, this is your show as well. So please, in the comment section, tell us if there's anything in particular you want us to talk about or cover or comment on. And if you do want to have a rant about something, you can call us on Kalam. What number?
Yeah, the number is a really easy number. It's 020 0203 123 4507.
You know why Kalam was struggling? Because all that time, all that time the number wasn't on the screen and he was struggling. Try again, Kalam.
Let me repeat. It's so we do want to hear from you, inshallah. Participate in the show. Tell us what to discuss. 0208 1234507. That's 0208 1234507.
Okay, so some people are asking who the reciter was. Is Sheikh Ahmad Amir, rahimullah. Some of you, if you ever prayed Taraweeh in Ismail Mosque, you would know he's been coming there for a very long time. And he's a very famous reciter, Qari from Egypt. So Allah have mercy on him. We miss him dearly. So in terms of talking about different things, I think, Kalam, you seem to have a really nice haircut. So almost as good as mine.
It's not a haircut. Well, I thought, you know what? Last time we were on, no, it's not a haircut. Last time we were on, I had a migraine. I was a little bit dishevelled. Couldn't be really bothered at the beginning of the show. So I actually spruced up as a bike, put on some gel, did my hair, like side parting. Look, can you see side parting? Freshened up, got my little Marvel top on. I'm up for it. This is going to be a fantastic show, inshallah.
Inshallah. Once you did all that, Abdul decided to go disheveled.
Yeah. he's
Yeah, look, listen, right? I mean, don't blame me here, right? The barbers are all like doing social distancing here, right? None of them would open up, or I thought at least there would be like some shots behind the scenes, like, cutting. But
I cut my hair. Why can't you do yours?
No. My hair's not like your hair, yeah? Your hair's like totally long, yeah? My hair needs a bit of shaping here, right? At the moment, it's all over the place, but I can't help it. So please forgive me, everyone.
We forgive you. Listen,
Abdul Bhai, you're almost disappearing into that wall behind you.
That's
how white it is, isn't it? Like it's so white, it's almost
disappearing.
What's the nickname you've kind of like chosen for me?
Professor Grey. Okay, not Mr. Grey. Professor Grey. And if you want to know why it's not Mr. Grey, just Google it and you'll find out. But don't do it on the show, okay? Yeah, it's just, it might take the discussion somewhere it shouldn't do, especially in the month of Ramadan, okay? Listen. I just want to say one thing. Like, can you guys see my T-shirt? Can you see this? Can you see that? Do you know what that 3 bars mean? It means cage, innit? So, the sun. Do you remember a newspaper called The News of the World?
Yes. Yeah,
it got shut down for doing stuff. And then its owner, The Sun, now called The Sunday Sun, took over. They did a story on us, right? Apparently Cage, get this, brothers, sisters, you're all going to be shocked, yeah? Cage...
Hang on. Disclaimer, when you say us, you mean you and not me, yeah?
Me? Yeah, me.
Yeah, okay, cool. Just like,
Yeah. It's okay. I'm not sure why you're doing a disclaimer, but there you go. So anyway, so apparently Cage, is doing a fundraiser, okay, and guess what? It's selling merchandise like this T-shirt, okay. You wouldn't believe it. It's selling hoodies, jackets, T-shirts, bags, wristbands, key rings.
This is terrible. I don't know why Cage. Listen, I don't know why Cage is doing this. Is so un-British of you guys. I swear down. Why would you be selling useful stuff for?
You know what I mean? Completely against British values. And the Sunday Sun discovered this, right, all of a sudden. I mean, the fact that we've been doing it for about 17 years is neither here or there. And the fact that we do it every Ramadan is neither here or there. But, they discovered it. And so they decided to do a story on us. But guess what? Guess what? In that since the story came out till now, we've sold more merchandise than we have so far in the whole bloody. So,
but seriously, what's the underlying narrative, though, Azad? What is the underlying narrative?
The underlying narrative is like, Cage is raising money to, support extremism and be a terrorist sympathizer and things like that. So, you know how these right-wing Islamophobes. So, for example, yes, we support and help those brothers and sisters that are being tortured in different parts of the world, like in Guantanamo Bay, who all of them are innocent of anything. Do you remember? They're all been released, But these people like to paint Muslims as, things that are not true, like terrorism, right? You know what? One of the things they used to say, we never negotiate with terrorists. We never do this. Who did America do the peace deal with in Afghanistan?
Well, even before.
Is it the same Taliban that you kidnapped from Pakistan, right? Put in Guantanamo Bay, tortured for 3 to 5 years, then released them because you had no evidence, right? And now you went to them actually saying, please, sir, can we have some peace now? Because we can't beat you.
No, brother, you forgot. You've forgotten, even before that, remember they took him to Disneyland as well. You didn't mention that, did you? They took him to Disneyland as well. They took him to Disneyland. Remember they wanted to negotiate that oil pipe to go through Afghanistan, and it didn't work out because the Taliban refused it, and then everything went a bit like haywire.
But I think what we've got to understand is the definition of extremism is really extreme right now. The definition of extremism is itself extreme, because what are they defining as extremism? What are they defining as people who you should be worried about? Somebody who starts praying 5 times a day, somebody who goes to the mosque, somebody who's concerned about global injustices, somebody who has Palestine and Syria in their hearts. They're worried about what's going on there. People who believe in the Sharia, people who believe that Muslim peoples have the right to rule with whatever system they choose. All of those things, lo and behold, is extremism. So, it's a really dangerous ground that they're treading on, because no matter what you do to the Muslims, history tells you that they will hold on to their faith, the fundamentals of their faith. They will hold on to it. They will not relinquish it. You'll have 1 or 2 pseudo scholars, come and say, this can be let go or that can be let go. But the fundamental qawaid, the foundations of our faith, Muslims will not give up. We won't give up our 5 daily prayers. We won't give up going to the mosque.
I don't want to break your flow. I want you to continue.
You've broken it. It's fine.
I want you to.
You've broken it, and you're trying to repair it with like super glue. It don't
work. No, don't worry. You can deal with that. But what I wanted to say, there's the Muslim community is so active. I've actually seen on social media people praying Jamaat prayer in their gardens. And they're linking themselves up. Right. Would that classify as being too extreme?
No, I've seen the same video. There's a brick wall or like a fence dividing them, but the imam's on one side, there's another congregation on the other side, and the point is, people love the deen. People love that. They might have a misunderstanding of it here and there. They might not completely get, but they love it. You're not going to get rid of the love that Allah has instilled in the hearts of the believers. It's as simple as that. Now, what they need to do, and they'll slowly start learning, these, policy makers and these researchers, is that you need to speak to the Muslims. You need to have dialogue with them. You need to be able to engage with them and have robust debates with them. And you'll see that,
They they have. They've divided. They've categorized you into about 5 different categories. Yeah, like Sufi, Salafi, Wahhabi, and then traditionalist. You know, I remember reading a RAND report many years ago before it became a government policy and that. Everything that report kind of put forward, most world governments took those points and they've kind of started to implement them. You know, so they've already categorized you, they've already analyzed you, and they've already understand like how divided maybe the community is. And on top of that, obviously, they scare the hell out of people, because then a lot of people don't want to be active, and then they have misunderstanding of what they should be and what their values should be.
Thing is, they think they've categorized us. Yeah, they think that they can pit the Salafi against the Sufi, they can pit the Ikhwani against the Deobandi. They can, but the thing is, you know, it doesn't last long, because at the end of the day, we're one brotherhood. The Muslims are one brotherhood. Yeah,
that's another extreme word you just used there, brotherhood.
What, brother? Oh my God, yeah.
Be careful there. Anyway, listen, brothers and sisters, look, you know what, we do want to talk about this, but let me just get my point in before I forget, which is that I'm also raising money for Cage, because like Cage is 100% community funded organization. So I put
you got a call, brother.
Take the caller.
Yeah, let's go for the corner.
Corner? It's a free kick, actually.
Assalamu alaikum, caller.
How's it going?
Alhamdulillah.
It's Talha speaking.
Yeah,
Talha,
mashallah. Good to hear your voice.
With a T.
Talha with a T.
Yeah, without the T becomes something different.
Yeah, how you both doing? You okay?
Sorry. That joke just flew past us like a jet fighter plane.
You won't understand. You lot are so westernized here, right? And you talk about keeping to your kind of like traditional roots and that, yeah? You know, I think you need to go to some Bangla classes and understand some of the terms.
All right, take the T away. All right, take the T away. What name do you get, Abjul?
Yeah, Hala, innit?
Hala. Yeah, so Talha, let Professor Gray just...
I'm kind of waiting here.
That's not even the right spelling for Hala.
I know, man. Like, I mean, we might need to take that professorship away from you.
Yeah. Why not? Take it off, yeah?
Take that away from him. He has no idea what he's talking about.
He has just woken up, okay? So, Talha, go for it. What do you want to say, bro?
Just a little off topic. Well, not off topic as such, but obviously, alhamdulillah, we're in the month of Ramadan. And one thing I thought you brothers could do or talk about is, you know how as years have gone by and Ramadans have gone past and stuff like that, people are starting to be more creative and kind of, you know, doing a lot more when it comes to Ramadan and Eid and things like that. So one thing I've noticed a trend, which is really good, alhamdulillah, like a lot of families and people are doing like little Ramadan corners or decorating their houses and stuff like that for their children. So we've done one in our house where we've got like in the main mantelpiece like decoration, Ramadan calendar and things like that. Yeah. So I thought maybe a lot of any of the brothers and sisters that are watching, if they've done a similar thing, I could take a picture of it and post it up on our on the eTalk page, and somebody could win Columbine's Blue Rod.
Definitely share the pictures. See, you know, it is true. Look, alhamdulillah. Look, it just shows. Jazakallah khair, Talha, for the call. It just shows, like, no matter what the challenges we as a community face, we always come up with innovative ways to maintain the link. And as Talha said there, like, you know, many people at home, you know, with their children and everything else, there's a lot of time, you know, they're not going to school or anything else. And there's something, you know, you need to keep them engaged and entertained. And idea of building, like, you know, resemblance of inside of the masjid, like the mihrab, and even like, you know, some people building where you would give the khutbah from and everything else is actually amazing.
The mimbar,
yeah.
And you know what? I've heard that in hotter climates, they're starting to decorate the date palm tree. Yeah, tinsels on the date palm tree and all of that stuff. You know,
but you know,
on the date palm tree. Why not?
Yeah, and having the TV in the center of the wall still reflects, like some of the masjid now, because they've got like screens at the front as well for you to see the imam when the khutbah is taking place. So it's not too far away. I mean, it's a progress forward. But what is people saying it's bid'ah or something?
No.
Well,
saying it's bid'ah.
It's all right. Yeah, it's okay to do all that stuff.
Yeah, listen, it depends what you're doing it. Listen, right? We have to ensure we understand what we talk about when we say things like bid'ah and everything else. If you're doing something and thinking you're going to get reward, and that's not what the Prophet ﷺ or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed, then you're innovating something in the deen. But if you're finding innovative ways to keep your kids entertained, how's that going to be bid'ah?
Yeah, bid'ah is about the deen. It's about the worship. It's about ibadat. In muamalat, you're free to do whatever, innit? As long as it's not, imitating the kuffar. All right, shall I read some of the text messages?
Definitely read some messages.
So Ummu Umara is saying, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate your time. It's so much fun, especially during Ramadan. Alhamdulillah. Shahidul Alam is saying salam and telling us what the number is, 0208 1234 507. Just like Talha, why don't you call us? Shahid is also saying people are charging £35 for a haircut.
Where?
In all the different places. Yeah. Salam, it's me, Rahi, Shahi's brother from Brady Street. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Muttaqeen is on. He's saying salams. Brother Kalam looks like Spider-Man with the headset on. Yep. Spider-Man, that's me. Rafiq is watching. There's a little bit of a conversation about they need to do an Easy Talk versus a DT show, but that name should never be mentioned on our show, so I'm not going to even entertain that. DT, bring it back, and where's Talha, and we should do a DT versus ET. Get on your bike, bruv. Go and pray some Taraweeh or something. Muttaqin is saying, Abdul Bhai has gone grey. Allahumma barik. He's really proper gone grey, Abdul Bhai. No joke. Rubel is saying, you need Abdullah Mamoon on here. He gives you too much jokes unintentionally. Abdullah Mamoon's busy with another show, unfortunately. So, he ain't going to be around. People are asking.
He's very restricted.
He's very restricted, yeah. He's got restrictions.
Yeah.
There's more restrictions on Abdullah Mamoon than you'd get on a Section 7.
Yeah, or even on a lockdown.
Even on a lockdown, yeah. People are asking, do you deliver these Azad Bhai? Whatever.
Yes, inshallah. Yeah. Listen, I'll put the link on there, cage.ngo/shop. Just order it from there. But importantly, brothers and sisters, donate. And donate on my page because there's a competition going on.
And listen, we're actually going to do a competition here. This is the competition, like Azad Bhai's competition, but also what Talha said, send us pictures of your Ramadan decorations, how you're making your homes and your children, more into Ramadan, what you're doing to translate Ramadan so that they understand it. Show us pictures and we'll give you a prize. The prize will be the following. Abdul Bhai.
What, me?
Yeah, what's the prize like? Yeah, what's the prize? Not you, but
The prize will be a haircut for Abdul.
I definitely need a haircut. I mean, that's going to be that's a big target on myself. Yeah, but that can't be a prize.
Listen,
we'll think of a prize, but please, the winner will get a prize.
Listen, first of all, before the prize, what is the competition? We're not going to give prize away for people's pictures. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the best decorated Ramadan corner or the Ramadan decorations, isn't it? That,
All right, set those and there'll be a prize. Kalam will do that prize, but I think we should do a proper quiz.
We'll do a quiz. Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
So everybody's lolling. I don't know what they're lolling about, but Shahidul is lolling, Shah Jahan is lolling, Murshid is lolling, Saman's lolling, and Faith is smiling, and Rubel is lolling. Azad Bhai, guess what I found? Asad Bhai.
Okay, I'll be a line for now. What did you find?
Fokru is saying, Asad Bhai, guess what I found?
It ain't the same Fokru, is it?
It is that. Is that Fokru who spelled your name wrong?
You spelled my name wrong.
Yeah, he called you Asad Bhai.
You know what I mean? I'm dead. You better. Okay, I think Fokru's found some of our old CDs or Nasheed's albums or something like that.
He's going to tell us. Tell us, Fokru, what have you found, brother? Tell us.
Okay, listen, I want to move the conversation on a little bit. So just before I do, I did say on Friday, some people need to think about cooking and making caramel tarts and shepherd's pie. Please please do that. Those who do that will get, special mention, and maybe I'll give a free gift as well. So please consider that. So I want to move the conversation on. It's the third day of Ramadan. And like, yeah, exactly. It's like, it's when you think about it, 10% of it is already gone. The days, as we know, it first starts off like this. It seems a little bit slow, and before you know it, you're into the last 10 nights, and then you're like, oh my God, it's Eid the day after. So, how do we ensure we don't miss out on this? We're not just in this for the ride, and we get taken away. What can we do, Kalam? Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, well, yeah, I think what the first thing that we have to do this particularly this Ramadan is to share it with our families. I know it's like it's been said until it's been said until it's what? But how do you finish that sentence? It's been said until it's what?
What? It's been said until?
Yeah, like when you say something until it's. Anyway, somebody on the forum will tell us. Anyway, share it with your family. I know we keep on repeating it, and it's a standard thing. But especially this year, when we're on lockdown, when we're in the house, we really need to share our Ramadan with our families. It's not about riyah. It's not about showing off. Do a competition, husband, wife, and children. Whether it's recitation of the Quran, whether it's Jama'ah prayers, whether it's iftar, whatever it is, the dhikr of Allah. Whatever we're doing, giving sadaqah, we need to do it as a family. Bring everybody into the game. Let everybody participate, compete with one another, and make this Ramadan a real family Ramadan. If you do that, you'll be imitating the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's a beautiful hadith where Aisha radiallahu anha says about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the last 10 days. In the last 10 days of Ramadan, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would tighten his belt and he would wake his family and keep them awake so that they together would be seeking the Laylatul Qadr. So they would do that in the last 10 days, but because we're on this lockdown and we can't go anywhere and we're not busy with the dunya or work or anything like that, let's involve our families. Let's make it a Ramadan that is really a family Ramadan, inshallah. And I think you will see that you'll taste some of the sweetness of Iman when you see your children and your other families, your parents, your partners doing ibadah with you, pushing you along when you're getting a little bit tired, helping you, maintain the momentum. It will be another level, inshallah. So that's my advice, I think.
So, Kalam, so you know why people are laughing? It was the comments we were talking about Mamun and Section 7 and the restrictions. So Fakrul finally managed to get my name wrong. Well done, right, Fakrul, well done. He's found the recordings, mashallah. Hey, you know what? We can. You need to somehow get those recording to us. We can play snippets of our old shows. So anyway, Professor Gray has gone quiet. Is he falling asleep? Abdul, are you there? Hello.
No.
I see you. The camouflage is so good. Do some movement.
I'm still here. Yeah. It's just I don't have my black T-shirt, and the grey is actually really giving it away. Yeah, right. But what can you do? what can you do? I am grey, and you know what? It's better than giving Mendy. Come off it, some brothers been. Many brothers have been asking me to put Mendy on here, right?
But you know what? As Abdul, if you put Mendy on, that's another sign of extremism. You know that?
Yeah.
You know what the Sahaba used to put Mendy on for, bruv? You know that, innit? Takbir Allahu Akbar. Allah. Jaysh Muhammad, you know what I mean? Come on. Don't put any Mendy on, bruv.
No. I'm just going to keep it straight.
You do put it on for a fundraiser. That's
no. Fundraiser? You're going to get me to... No, I've never touched it.
That reminds me. Do you remember that time we shaved our hair?
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious. We're not going to shave no hair. Maybe for $5,000 we shave hair. What do you think? The three of us will shave hair.
I'll shave my hair. Look, Azad
and me, we will shave our hair live on the show. We'll get the machine.
Yeah. And we'll go. Definitely. Forget $5,000. Azad, I'll do it. Yeah, the way I'm feeling right now, this lockdown craziness, I'll do it for £5. Joking. I'll do it for 1,500. I'll do it 1,500. I'll do it for 1,000. Yeah.
Well, no. Why? Oh, just you.
Yeah.
Oh, just you. Okay.
Let's all do it for a yeah. I'll do it 1,500.
Well, three of us. 4,500. That's 1,500 each.
1,500 each. Yeah.
Charity. Yeah.
Live on air.
Sisters. That's it. That's it.
But you seem to be quiet. Are you on this?
No, I'm listening. I'm in shock.
Listen, you've already agreed.
I'm in shock. Cut my hair off.
When you used to get together, a group of you, right, and used to get together and create a syndicate to raise the money to get this to happen. So if you want to see Kalam, Abdul, and myself shave our hair live whilst doing talk, right, between all of you guys, get £4,500, right? And if you do that
before Friday.
Sunday. Let's say you got a week. Next Sunday. Let's give them 2 weeks. 2 weeks, right?
Oh, mate, you're making it easy. You want to do this, don't you, really?
We give you 2 weeks, right? If you can do it, amongst you guys, get in touch. In terms of how you're going to get us the money and everything else, you can put it on any of our fundraising pages or anything else. Or if you're collecting cash, do that. But some of you guys get together, put all the money together. When you've got it, contact us. You know how to contact us either through.
Where's the money going, Azadbhai?
So, Kalam, you'll get 1,500 to give to your chosen. Abdul will get 1,500
Muslim Aid
children charity, and I'll get 1,500 to give to my chosen charity. So that's the way. So we'll name the chosen charities. Kalam is giving it to Muslim Aid.
It might not be, actually. I'm thinking it might not be.
I'm giving it to Al Shifa Hospital in Gaza.
Okay, so Al Shifa, but I'm going to give it to Cage, and so that's basically what we're going to do. So, brothers and sisters, if you're really up for it, go for that. Okay, so Simon is saying, "Are you sure?" Read some of the messages.
Yeah, well, go on. Okay, we'll never get a Ramadan like this. Somebody saying, Maviz Zahid is saying, we'll never get a Ramadan like this. Need to make the most of it with our families. We've never experienced such a Ramadan at home with only our families. Absolutely right. We do need to do that. There's as Faith is saying, don't put Mendy on, but Shahidul is saying, do it, and everybody's saying, shave it. Professor Gray needs it anyway. A shave, yep, that's true. Not Friday, give us 2 weeks. Okay, you got 2 weeks. We're definitely sure. Poor Professor Gray having decisions made for him, looking slightly worried. Listen, Professor Gay.
Okay, let me pause Kalam there. Okay, so there's a few people who missed it because some people's phone died and whatever. Okay, so what we've agreed is if you guys raise 4,500, and you guys come together, however you come together, raise 4,500, Abdul, Kalam, and myself, we're going to shave our hair live on air, and you got 2 weeks to do that. Okay? Hopefully, whoever's doing our admin on Easy Talk, can you put that in the comment section so people see it and remind people as we're going along? Okay, so I think we've been talking for a little bit. Is it time to play a nasheed? And it's a nasheed we haven't played for a very, very long time. It's one of our favorite nasheeds. Actually, when we used to do nasheed charts, he used to constantly win. Okay, I'm sure you guys can guess who the singer is and what the title is as soon as it comes. It should be on your screen now.
Inside his home was overwhelmed with fear. An angel came with words from God. Things were still unclear, saying, for the whole world to behold. But we're so selfish in our ways. To the ones we hold so close, our own pleasure and happiness is what we value most.
But she sacrificed all her wealth and everything she had, and he honored her and gave her faith when the times were bad, when times were
Now years have passed, times have changed since Khadija breathed her last, and the message of the one true God was spreading far and vast. Then he came across some jewelry that Khadija had once worn. His eyes began to swell with tears, his heart began to mourn.
'cause she was there for him when the times were rough and his enemies were cruel. She was the first believer, so keen and eager to comfort our soul when he said, Zammiluni, Zammiluni, Dathiruni, Dathiruni, a mighty task has come before me. I need you here with me, by my side, by my side, by my side. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير خلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير خلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير خلق كلهم. مولاي صل وسلم دائما أبدا على حبيبك خير خلق كلهم.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back, guys. Hope you enjoyed that nasheed, Zammiluni by Zahin Bika and Native Deen, a collab. MashaAllah, those who listen to ET, they know this song. Umara is saying COVID-19 is a good time to spread acts of kindness, serve humanity, support your local community, and give lots of money to charity. Charity wipes away sins, absolutely. Lily Chai is saying applying Mendi might get you more money. But if the hair's gone, I don't know where we're going to be applying the Mendi. So the competition, guys, is that we've announced that myself, Abdul Bhai, Azad Bhai, we're going to shave our hair off in 2 weeks' time. If you guys can raise 1,500 times 3 is how much? 4,000?
500.
500. 4,500. My maths is, I did A-level maths as well. 4,500. If you can raise £4,500, it's going to go to 3 very, very worthy causes. And we're going to shave our hair live on air in 2 weeks' time, inshallah. So that's the competition. So you guys need to get together, you know, maybe message each other on the forum and get together, create a little group and then start collecting the money, putting it on our donation page that will be up by the end of this evening. And let's get the ball rolling, inshallah. So a lot of people saying, I have a feeling that this Ramadan will go by way faster than any other Ramadan. I've got that same feeling as well. I've got that same feeling. Forgot you guys had an episode last week and I missed it. It says Mavis Zahid, which is very, very naughty Mavis, naughty you. Don't miss it again. Put it on your phone to give yourself a reminder. Umar is saying Khadija is one of the 5 greatest women in Islam, subhanallah. She is one of the women of Jannah. Sayyidati Nisa'ul Jannah. Khadija radiallahu anhu is the leader of the women of Jannah. Beautiful nasheed. Hobo Muslim Circle is saying, can you also get Khalid Malik to shave his hair off too? So somebody wants Khaled to shave his hair off.
There's about probably 3 hair strands on his head, but yeah, we'll chuck him in as well.
Yeah. And Abu, we'll need a microscope to find that hair that we're gonna shave off with Khaled. If Khaled was electrified, he'd be a good solar panel. Abu Musa is saying, was thinking of Zakaria by this week. May Allah forgive him and accept him, an amazing and selfless person.
You know what? I was reciting the Quran, and I was reading. I came on the verse of Harut and Marut, and immediately flooding thoughts of Zakaria came. As many brothers and sisters would know, Brother Zakaria, he used to be Iraqi as well. He helped so many people. Allah give him Jannat. We miss him, and if his children are watching, a special Ramadan Mubarak to you all. You're always in thoughts and prayers. Allah give him Jannah and make it easy for you, inshallah. Umar is saying, what is our views on people who are still seeing their families and not following lockdown rules? There are still people who are not following rules, who, for want of a better word, are being selfish. They're just doing whatever they like and not really considering the impact it's going to have on other people. A lot of people don't understand. We've already had 20,000 people, and that's a conservative figure, and that's just in hospitals. Yeah. We don't know how many have died in care homes and in the community. 20,000 people have already died from this. So if people are being maverick about this and not considering the harm they're going to cause other people, it's not always about you. Yes, you may be fine. You may catch it, and it might be mild for you and all that. But if you have got it, you're going to pass it on to other people. And some of those people are going to be actually very vulnerable, the elderly in particular. So, let's consider other people. And I think, people overdo this. Oh, I'm missing my family and all of this kind of stuff. In normal times, you don't go in and visit your parents, subhanAllah. And now it's lockdown. It's like, this phenomena of exercising. I see some people running. I've never seen them actually walk out of their house. I mean, now they're running.
There are people in wheelchairs who are running.
Okay. Do you want to know how I visit my mum?
Yeah.
So what I do, we've got a mum and my sister under lockdown, and they basically live really close because they're at that high risk. So what we do is we just go round and we go to the other side of the road, and she just comes on the balcony. She just comes in the balcony, we give us a lunch, she says everything, and she's really, really missing us as well. She wants to talk to us more. Even then, I tell her, look, go back in because we don't want you to be outside. But I think it's so important. What Brother Azad had said is like, they're the most vulnerable, and if they catch the virus, there's no guarantee that they're going to be able to go through it. I know my mum's going to be in serious trouble if she gets it. Yeah, so the family's taken serious precaution. I think when the brother or the sister is mentioning about social distancing and families are interacting in that, obviously, is that the extreme form of interaction? I know people are interacting differently. They're still maintaining their 2 meters or 3 meters. They're staying away. Sometimes what they do, they might go to the park and still be distance away from people. They're not going into each other's houses. I mean, just on the note, I've got a really, really, really good nephew that lives next to me, but my next door neighbor, fantastic reciter, very, very top-notch reciter here, right? I think he won one of the awards in the UK as well. So he lives right next to me, and I was thinking to myself, well, hold on, I'm sitting here just doing my prayers. Why don't I go to his house and pray with him? Sneak out. It's just right next door, the door next door to me, yeah, right? Then I'm thinking to my head, no, maybe the family might think, it's not appropriate or whatever. So, that feeling does come, like you want to go and do something. You're so close to each other. People are still sharing foods. Next door neighbors are sharing foods and that, yeah. But the key thing is that 2 meters, 2 meters distant. The key thing is not putting your hands in your mouth. The key thing is about people having the mask and that awareness that, look, you can spread it to people, and these are the forms how you can spread it to people, yeah. But going and visiting relatives and having a big party and that, there are still people out in a park sunbathing and things like that, and the police are coming. The police do come and they move them away. There are joggers around, there are cyclists around. The police don't do anything to them because they're exercising. But when you're sitting around 5, 6, 7 people having a picnic and sunbathing, you are breaking the rule. And I think the police should come and push you away because you're not exercising.
Absolutely.
True. A lot of people have said Amin to the dua for Brother Zakaria and Abdul Alim Abdul has joined and he's saying salam. No, I think, you know what it is now, what people are saying is, oh, look, we've been under lockdown for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We haven't shown any signs of the COVID. We're not ill. We're okay. So there's no harm in, going in the car. And my family, my parents are also well. There's no harm going and seeing them because we've not caught the virus. See, again, that's slightly ignorant because you might actually be carrying the virus, but you're not manifesting or you're asymptomatic. So don't risk it. Just don't risk it.
Not only that, you're going to see some people who fall into that category.
Yes,
okay,
exactly.
You and your friends, okay, you want to break the rules, you want to go in the car, you want to whatever. All right. But as soon as you now then go to your members of family who are a bit more, elderly, they fall into that category, you are the problem because you're going to now spread it to them. Now, if they end up in hospital and they do not receive the treatment that they need or their lungs can't take it, then are you going to feel guilty afterwards?
It's very important. I think, look, those of us who actually understand the gravity of the situation should do our best to explain to the others. Because, look, it's one of those things, like after a while, you become complacent. Like, look, we've been under lockdown for, 35, 36 days or whatever it is, over a month, right? Nearly 2 months, actually. So it is going to come to a point where people get a little bit complacent because, nothing's happened. And it's just human nature. So it is our responsibility to remind these people of the dangers in a nice way. Look, at the end of the day, we should do the nasiha should be in a way that is going to be accepted. If we're shouting and putting them down and calling them idiots and this, that, the other, it's not going to help. And at the end of the day, that's what we want. We want to minimize the harm. Because if you think about it, look, there is no cure, right? The only way we're going to protect ourselves is by slowly, those people who are strong enough, when they get it, they overcome it. Hopefully they won't get it again. But we still have to protect the vulnerable. All that would mean is that like a certain percentage of the population would have had it, like the flu, and then they'd be immune to it because their immune system is built up.
On that as well, you have to bear in mind here, the BME community is at a higher risk. Percentage-wise, where people are concerned about the BME people dying more as a percentage. I know there's a lot of people from all the other communities are passing away as well, and that's a tragedy as well. But even like asking for reports and stats on how it's having an impact on the BME community is a very serious concern, and people are raising those issues up now. So on top of that, if people in the community want to take that risk, then they need to be sensible, because at the end of the day, they need to be able to distance themselves appropriately so that they can't. Yes, we have to go shopping. We have to go and queue up. We have to go. And shopping is really, really hard. One of the things I'm really struggling with in this context is actually going out shopping. I don't want to go out shopping because I know I'm going to have to wait in some queue for a long time. And you go to a queue and you wait up, and then everyone wants to talk to you as well. Then I've had 2 or 3 people try and come and shake my hands. So I've kind of like, what can you say to them? I've put stuck.
This is what you say to them.
So I'm doing everything in the but you are right. People have dropped their guard, and when they see you, they want to come and like shake hands. They want to give you hugs. Like we still got to maintain this. Look, Big Brother is also watching you, right? Because the police, they are going around in little cars and that, especially around the parks and that, checking people out. But you know what? It is very difficult, especially within the BME community. Like like you go into. I had to go into a Bengali grocery shop today. You can't maintain the 2 meter distance in there. No way.
Because the whole shop is 2 meters.
Okay, so
some messages.
Yes, of course. 0208 1234 507 is the number to call if you want to have your voice heard across the airwaves. Umara is saying you can still serve your parents emotionally during social distancing. Drop them some good food, healthy food like Zamzam, water, fruit, veg, and give them advice on eating healthy, of course. Or you can have stories about, Islamic stories, prophetic stories. Look, our parents, they now with the age of email and WhatsApp and all the calls to Bangladesh, they're really clued up with all these video calling and stuff like that. They know it better than us. So get into a conference call, Zoom your family. We do this, my family, we do it every Sunday. We missed it today, unfortunately, but we do it every Sunday for 40 minutes. Is the free Zoom service. And get everybody together, have a little chit chat, see how everybody's doing. You know, keep that family tight, but don't break the lockdown, because that's, like Azabah said, selfish. It's also quite dangerous as well. It's not advised at all.
Callum, you know, I just want to tell you what happened a couple of days ago. Well, my mum called me, and then I answered, and she goes, "Oh, did you call me?" I said, "No, it's all right." But what my mum done is accidentally she got a smartphone now. She don't know how to use it, So I think my brother or sister set her up like, you know, if you press this number, then it goes to me or whatever, So she's accidentally called me, and then obviously we went into our discussion and that, They enjoy talking, okay? So if you Skype them, and believe me, right, get some of your elderly people, speak to them, like do FaceTime with them, and get them to tell you stories when they were younger, what they did. They love it. You know, it's therapeutic to them, Like when they tell you what they did when they were young, and they tell you about stories about Bangladesh and that. I think it's a very good time to get them to open up, rather than you speak to them and tell them everything. Get them to talk to you, and that really helps. Like when you said mentally, it really helps.
You know what I like? I like to hear the stories of back in the day stories, especially from grandmothers and grandfathers. I love those stories. You know, some of those stories they're actually epic movies.
I got a story that my dad told me. Yeah. Okay, can I? Listen, guys. This might be like borderline, so do forgive me, right? So my dad was one of the 60s lads. You know the 60s guys. They come in the country in the 60s, innit? So they all live together, and they can't speak a word of English, and they're working in all of these places. So my dad and a few of his mates are working and in a restaurant, and his colleague, his friend, cut his finger quite deeply. Deep, really bad cut. So they have to go to the hospital. So they go to the hospital. It's the middle finger, like he's cut like quite badly. So he's holding it up and he gives it, "You my bastard, you my bastard, you my bastard." And the lady's getting, "Oh, you want a plaster, babe? Okay, calm." The nurse, so they're like, sitting him down, and he's like, "Yeah, my bastard, pain, my bastard." I mean, where are you going to get these stories from, guys? Where are you going to get these stories from?
That's a lovely story.
Hey, listen, talking of stories, have you guys seen this video that's been going around where this white man is being racist? He uses the P word against someone. And I mean, it's amazing footage. And I think, we should ask our audience what happened next. If you haven't seen the video, whoever's got a video, please post it on the comment section so people can see it. But basically, this white guy says the P word.
No. Listen. You're saying it too nicely. This gentleman was standing, who used the P word very casually, very politely as well, and was still waiting for a response, from the young lad. The young lad was really, really puzzled. He didn't know what century he was in, right? And next minute, like 2 meters away, the government's rule, he's like tumbling on the floor,
No. So the boy, the young guy is quite incredulous. He goes, "What did you call me? Did you call me that? Did you call me the P word?" He goes, "Yeah, I called you the P word. I did. Who do you call? You." The man's on the phone. He goes, "I called you the P word." So the boy's like, he's frozen. And then I think he must have been wearing some traditional garment, like maybe a thobe or something. And he goes, "And what are you wearing?" And then the next thing, you notice, the guy's on the floor. His legs are in the air. So what happened?
We want to know what happened next. From that moment of where the young lad goes to him, "You're a waste man," and he goes, "You're a waste man," and not apologizing for using the P word. The camera points to the ground. Next minute it focuses, and the guy has got his arms and legs in the air, and he's on his back. What happened next? Please, the best answer. We want to know, what is the best answer? What happened? Tell us. With this social distancing of 2 meters, lockdown and everything else, what happened? We want to know.
What could have resulted in the man on the ground, hands and legs up? What happened? Was it an alien intervention? What was it? Was it what happened? Why did that happen?
Tell us.
I think it got tasered.
You think he got tasered?
I think one of the aliens came down and just kind of moved him away because he was breaking the government's 2 meters.
Okay.
Rules.
Okay, so somebody's saying aliens. Shah Jahan is saying the wind blew him on the floor, brothers. It was the wind. There was a gust of wind and he fell to the floor. Okay, that's a plausible explanation. So explain what happened, guys, to that man. Yeah. Somebody is saying post the video. If anybody's seen the video, please post it here so people can actually see what we're talking about, and then they can suggest what happened.
So someone is saying left hook knockout. Someone is saying Holborn Muslim Circle say he got punched 2 meters away. Saleh is saying left hook knockout. Abu Musa is saying the brother exercised the 2 meter rule. Okay, some people are asking what the Umar series is. I think, who was it? I think someone who posted about it. Oh, Salahuddin posted about watching the Umar series. So if you guys don't know, the Umar radiallahu anhu series is basically a biography of Umar radiallahu anhu. It's in Arabic. It is actually one of the best series you can watch. It is very, very beneficial. It is also very authentic. So there isn't anything dodgy in there. It's very educational from the Sirah. So Faith and others, if you haven't seen it, Brother Salahuddin, can you post the link? Because I think you can watch it on Islamic City.
The link is there. Bodru Amin's posted the link already. Yeah, so it's based on Sheikh Salabi's biography. Like, you know, if you've read the Prophet ﷺ Sirah and Abu Bakr and Umar, the books, it's based on the books. And he's like a living legend on Sirah and history. Or he only like writes up the authentic narrations. But the way they've done it is... Yeah, go on. Sorry, Sheikh.
It's very addictive. You know what? That's one of the first series I saw. It was so addictive. You watch it, you want to complete it, you want to finish it. I think people, if you haven't seen it, you're missing out. It's a really, really good production. The quality is very good.
We have a winner. Sorry, we have a winner already. Kalam, you know what happened to that guy?
Now, what happened?
Yeah, he saw Klopp running up to hug him.
That's what it was. It was a Jurgen Klopp hug. That's Cammy, that is a fantastic suggestion. You might be the winner of this competition. So the competition is, this man was calling racial abuse to this young Muslim boy, or Asian boy at least, definitely. And then all of a sudden, he's on the floor with his legs and hands in the air. We want to know what happened, because the video doesn't quite record what happened to him. We want to know what happened. So some people are saying it was a jinn. Somebody said it's a jinn. Other people are saying it was a left hook. Some people are saying it was a right hook. I reckon if it was anything, it would have been an uppercut.
Exercise. Someone is saying it was its daily exercise.
It was the daily exercise, yeah. Welcome to the show, Captain, which is the captain's on. Can you please play the nasheed, Give Me Ya Allah, Iman and Victory? Okay, listen, Sabina, right? All I'm saying is tune in at the right time, my dear sister. Listen to the shows at the beginning. We've already played this, haven't we?
Yeah, we played it right at the beginning. So we'll try to play it again another time, inshallah. Sure. But there is probably a good reason why you can't get it on YouTube.
Yes.
I'm just winding up the right wing. You know, there's always going to be some right wing. But listen, on a serious note, right, about this white guy using this racist term that many of us haven't heard for years. Do you think, like, you know, I mean, a lot of us act shocked and surprised that there is this racism and Islamophobia and everything else. Do you think, like, you know, since we were younger or everything else, has racism got less, or has it got more sophisticated and nuanced?
Go on, Abdul Bhai.
No, I was actually going to say something before answering that, but I think whatever I say might take the flavour away. But I'll say anyway, yeah. As soon as I put that post up, you know, obviously I've got loads of people on my Facebook. I do apologise for people if I can't make you friends. I've got a waiting list, and if people are not active with me, they don't, you know, share my things, then I knock them off. So you have to wait for your turn to get on my Facebook, yeah. So I've got loads of people from all different backgrounds, and you know what? I've got to say, a lot of the comments that came forward was from non-Muslims and non-Bangladeshis, and they were loving it. They were like, yeah, that was good, that twat. But how the hell were you saying all that kind of stuff? So I've got a very, very good cross-reference of people's thoughts and feelings. Some will say, no, he shouldn't have done that because he's just lowered himself down to the same level. Yes, obviously, no one condones violences in that particular way. But, I don't know. If he's probably a young lad, he's probably lost his temper, whatever. But the fact was that he did use the word Paki, yeah? And when someone calls you a Paki, unless the young generation don't know, just to let you know, yeah, that many times I got chased, down Bethnal Green and Roman Road, when those days, yeah, right, Paki was like the fashionable thing and Paki bashing was the in thing, yeah? And many of my generation and maybe the older ones will also realize that all those fights that they had to go through in order to and now suddenly, and that's why I kind of froze when that gentleman said, yes, I said Paki. And I was first thinking to myself, does he mean that he thinks he's Pakistani or something like that? But surely he understands the word Paki because it's an offensive word. And that's why the young lad responded quite, and he gave him a chance. He said, oh, why are you calling me or something like that, yeah? And then that happened. You know what? The reason it's surprising is that now racism is actually, mutated like some virus now, yeah? It's mutated to like some kind of more intellectual, more cultural policy making and so forth. So we've been facing a lot of those kind of like intellectual racism or the white collar racism, and that direct racism where you're not getting beaten up or you're getting spat on or someone calling you a Paki isn't around that much. But for that to happen, and also you got to bear in mind, yeah, when I was young, when people used to call my dad or my uncles Paki and that, they say, okay, leave it, but the new generation, I can't see them kind of like
taking it,
walking away from that, yeah.
No.
So obviously that gentleman, he thought he had the situation under his control or whatever, yeah. He's pressing his phone. Oh, what's the next question? And next week, there's a thump. Yeah, I think it was Mr. Miyagi's kind of chop came over and then he landed on the floor. But anyway, it's created a discussion, and some people are saying, he shouldn't have hit him. I'm putting my hands up and saying, look, I wasn't there. I don't know why he reacted that way. It's very offensive when that gentleman said that. And, for that to be said in this day and age, no one's going to take it. And there were so many people from various different community backgrounds. They were backing him left, right, center,
Okay, so this man falling to the floor, there's a few more reasons or suggestions as to what happened. Somebody's saying he fell to the floor like Louis van Gaal. So there's this clip of the ex-Man United manager who's talking to the fourth official or something, and then all of a sudden he just collapses to the floor as if somebody's hit him, but nobody actually hit him. The video evidence is not conclusive, so we cannot say with any certainty or without any doubt that he was struck. Yeah, so perhaps even so that's somebody saying he slipped like Steven Gerrard, which I don't find very funny. But yeah, so there are a few suggestions here in terms of what happened to this guy. Look, there's do you remember Diane Abbott, Abdulbai?
Yeah, of course I do.
Diane Abbott. She's ex-Labour Home Secretary, Health Minister, whatever it is.
From Hackney,
She's a lady of colour from Hackney, long-serving Labour minister, parliamentarian. She got her stats wrong on some figures. I think it was hospital figures or police figures, whatever. She got some stats wrong. Yeah, and I think she was going through some stressful time at that time and was probably unwell, whatever it is, or she was briefed wrong, whatever the reason, she got some stats wrong. But the way the media hounded her, the bad press, the rude, almost actually offensive, unacceptable language and narrative that they created. Yeah, against her, and then you've got these Boris Johnson who can't get his stats right, and you've got these other ministers now.
That's all right. It's all right.
Priti Patel. Anyway, listen. Just to bring it local a little bit, Musa. I don't know if you've seen the message. She's saying, "Oh my God, I don't want to go too deep, but the racism has gone a lot more. I live in Stepney and I am pregnant. I have never experienced anything like this. But after the London Bridge attack, within an hour of it, I got attacked and no one came to my defense. There were two white guys, they're local, and only when I asked them to talk to the police, I found out that they were closet racists." This is, true. There's two things. That there is a lot of people that are living in big Muslim populated areas, if you like in Tahammas and other places, there is a lot of racism happening, and they're targeting it as well. And to a large extent, we've discussed it. But Musa raises another really important point, which I'm actually ashamed of, which is that she says when she was verbally abused and everything else, no one came to her defense. Mm-hmm. And this is really unacceptable, brothers and sisters. If we see anyone that is being harmed, whether it's verbal or physical and everything else, we should do our best to protect them. Okay, I'm not talking about getting into gang fights and things like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like you see the sister here, if she was being racially abused and everything else, and we're just walking on as if nothing happened. What happened to our courage? What happened to our Izzah? Okay, this is a sister that is being abused, and we're just going to let this happen. What's going on here? This is not unacceptable.
You know what I mean? Obviously a sister, but it shouldn't happen. Full stop to anyone. It could happen to an elder. It could happen to anybody. It shouldn't happen. Full stop. If that kind of abuse takes place, then citizens should take action, and there are positive ways they can do that. Record them, number one. And also just say to them that, look, what you're saying is racist. Just tell them that. So if you can have a dialogue, have a dialogue. Now, obviously, subject to the threat level. So some of them can become quite violent, and people may feel scared and that. So you're gonna have to make that kind of judgment. But you're right. It's just coming back out in a different way, and we're going to have to deal with it as a community. I think there's been a calming of the activism around racism and that, and I think racism, has all it's done is evolved into a different way, like what Brother Kalam was saying. The media was hounding this MP, and yes, from a ethnic minority perspective, it does feel like it's got an undertoning of racist background in the way they're kind of pushing those kind of narratives and that. And I think when I was a teenager, the activism around racism was very, very strong, but then it went down. And I think, maybe we're going to have to see, how that could be revived again, because after the coronavirus, we want to see how this society now, is moving forward. Have people, are they in a state where they're getting along with people? Have they forgotten that, what was happening in the past? Has COVID-19 changed the way people are going to move? And that's another discussion. And if people haven't changed their ways, and people got those kind of closet racism, and they're feeling a bit more angry, they're feeling a bit more agitated, then it has to, people will have to deal with it.
I think, look, Kalam, sorry, Abdul, what you're saying is all well and good, but the sister Musa is saying it wasn't verbal abuse, it was actually physical abuse. She was actually shoved to the ground. Imagine a pregnant sister being shoved to the ground, and there's people around just walking off. I mean, she's saying they were probably afraid. That's true. But you and I, all of us know, let's just take Tahammas as an example. There's not a patch in Tahammas where a racist can get away with it without there being Muslim Bengali boys around in that area. We know the population of young Muslims in Tahammas is big, right? We know the youngsters are around doing whatever it is they're doing. Listen, brothers, okay, you need to fix up, okay? If whatever other nonsense you're in, how is it that you're going to allow innocent people like that being pushed around in a racist way, okay, in front of you? I mean, this happened in Stepney, so I'm pointing the finger at the Stepney Massive there, right, and all of these people. But what about if it happened in Myland, or it happened in Brick Lane, or it happened in other places? It's unacceptable, okay? So we got to really look out for each other. I think this is really important.
Brother Azad, can I just clarify, when that incident took place with the sister, were there people around who didn't do?
Yeah, she's saying,
That's what she's saying, Okay.
But the point
that's really bad. That's really bad.
What I think is happening here is that this sense of collectivity is being taken out of people's attitudes and people's lifestyles, if you like. Before, when people, what did the young people used to do? They used to gather together in the youth centers. They used to gather together in in the football teams. The coaches were role models for them, examples for them, and there was a sense of respect and solidarity, companionship, and all of that stuff that was ingrained. Whether these were practicing people or non-practicing, there was some base level of this is your community, you need to support your community, lift it up and do the best for your community, protect your community. Now what's happening is that people are chasing the dunya, whether that's academically, professionally, in terms of jobs, or whether that's through the underworld, which is the drugs, pushing the drugs, or the music industry and all of that stuff. And what that has made people become is very, very selfish, individualistic, and only concerned about themselves. That's the difference that even I've noticed growing up and seeing the change, that people are now very much only concerned about themselves. They don't really care about their neighbors or their extended families or their community. So long as they themselves are okay, so long as they themselves have what they want, that's what matters. And this
we said a couple of weeks back on the show that the new normal we want to create is where we do care about our neighbors, where we care about more than ourselves and our own career and our own well-being, as it were. Until we get into the habit of doing that and creating that in the environment, it is going to be tough. But once that is there in the environment, can you imagine the harmony, the love, and the support that we would have as a community? I'm not just talking about Muslims. I'm talking about as a community of everyone in that area. Imagine, you all know each other, you feel safe and everything else. Where of course, there's always going to be problems and disagreements, but there'll be ways to deal with them without them extending into, all the nonsense that we see that's happening. Okay, listen, we've been talking quite a lot. Just a couple of reminders. The first is we're definitely doing this competition. So the competition is, if you brothers and sisters out there in the next 2 weeks can raise £4,500, Kala, myself, and Abdul, we're going to shave our hair live on the show. Okay, we're going to all buy a razor and do that. It's going to be difficult, but we will do it. Second thing is, okay, how is it that you're going to raise that money, and how do we do this? Okay, so what we've decided is that we'll have one page where you pay into. And on that page, you need to reference Easy Talk, okay? You just need to say Easy Talk, and that way we'll do the calculation. So I've just made the decision, brothers. I'm going to just give my page at the moment, if that's okay with you. So the page details I'm going to post on the comment, but it's basically giftbright.com /Cage2020 /Azad-Ali. But I will put it on the comment section, and then you can... But remember, it's important. You got to reference the payment as ET so that we know. Now, what I would suggest is there are many brothers and sisters that are on the comment section. You guys know each other. Why don't you create a little syndicate and between you guys try to raise the money and then come back to us rather than doing it in piecemeal. That might be an easier. I mean, I'm not desperate to shave my hair, but I'm just trying to help out because it's a good cause. You will get the reward for raising the money. We will get the reward for donating the money. And you would get even more reward because you'll get us to shave our hair.
Okay. Brother Azad, just quickly tell us about the cage for the new people who are watching us. Yeah, what's the cage about? And very quickly, with a lot of new people viewing us today.
Yeah, no, I mean, if you are not aware of Cage, it is the only organization, there is no other organization that looks out for the rights of those that are being oppressed by the war on terror, those that have been tortured, kidnapped, those that were held in Guantanamo Bay and other black sites and everything else. But also here in the UK, the impact of programs like Prevent and Schedule 7. Alhamdulillah, this year we won a landmark case where, under Schedule 7, the police, in this case, it was the Met Police. They actually made a sister take off her hijab so that they can take photography. And they said to her, it's because we need to ID you.
Identify, yeah.
Oh, everyone knows, in your passport, you can have a hijab on and everything else for ID purposes. So it's fine. So alhamdulillah, we took the police to court with the sister, and alhamdulillah we won, and she got a substantial amount of damages. So these are some of the things that we're helping with. Of course, also in the community, we're trying to empower Muslims to understand the different laws that are coming in and how to challenge them. And look, one of the things many of us have said is how the media paints Muslims, the narratives that it creates. It stokes all of these things, and we have to challenge it on different level. What the difference between us and other organizations is, whilst it's important to deal with individuals that are being harmed, that are being attacked and everything else, our focus is more on the state, more on the government. So we're looking at structural Islamophobia. So like, for example, the PREVENT program is structurally Islamophobic. The Schedule 7 law is structurally Islamophobic. There are many laws that have been created specifically focusing and targeting Muslims. Yes, they do also impact other people, but primarily they were enacted to do that. So these are the things that we're fighting and challenging. So inshallah, your support is welcome. So I will post the link on the group, and I'll also put it on the Easy to Talk page as well as we go along. But I wanted to play a Bengali nasheed. Are you guys all up for us?
Yes.
Okay, so this is one of the old-time hits. Let's see if any of you can guess the title of the nasheed. Put it in the comment section. It should be on your screen right now.
কাল এখানে ছিল যে আজ সে কোথাও নাই কাল এখানে ছিল যে আজ সে কোথাও নাই সবারই তো কিসমতে হারিয়ে ফুরাবো ভাই কাল এখানে ছিল যে আজ সে কোথাও নাই ফুল ফুটে সে কিছুদিন ভরিয়ে সুবাসে মন আবার বন্ধু ছড়ে যায় হায় রে মানে না বারণ এই তো জীবন আহারে সান্ত্বনা খুঁজে না পায় সবারই তো কিসমতে হারিয়ে ফুরাবো ভাই কাল এখানে ছিল যে আজ সে কোথাও নাই হায় তো যে হাসি গান চোখের জলে হয় মলিন এত সাধের স্বপ্ন নীর কালের ছড়ে হয় বিলীন এই তো ভবের খেলা রে আলো ছায়ার আলে আয় সবারই তো কিসমতে হারিয়ে ফুরাবো ভাই কাল এখানে ছিল যে আজ সে কোথাও নাই আজ ভালোবাসা প্রেম কালকে যে তা বিরহ সুখের ঘরে শোকের বাস বড় বেশি অসহ এই তো নিয়ম নেয়তে হবে না তো অন্যথায় সবারই তো কিসমতে হারিয়ে ফুরাবো ভাই কাল এখানে ছিল যে আজ সে কোথাও নাই ভাগ্য যখন এমনি তখন ভাগ্য নিয়ন্তার নির্দেশিত পথ ধরে গড়ে জীবন যে যাহার তবেই দুঃখের বদলে সুখ পাবো যে যেমন চাই সবারই তো কিসমতে হারিয়ে ফুরাবো ভাই কাল এখানে ছিল যে আজ সে কোথাও নাই কাল এখানে ছিল যে আজ সে কোথাও নাই
Welcome, brothers and sisters. Welcome back. So those of you who didn't understand the nasheed, shame on you. But if you're not Bengali, still shame on you. No, not really. The nasheed talks about actually a really important concept, which is how long are we going to be in this world? Okay, and it basically is saying the person was here yesterday, and they're not here today. Okay, yesterday they were here, today they're not here anymore. Where are they now? Okay, And this is the truth of life, which is death as well. Okay, we always have a limited amount of time, and what is the mark that we leave in the dunya is really, really something important. And these kind of legacies that we build, we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to these social influencers, because these people are not the people that should be elevated in our society. The people that should be elevated in our society are the people who help each other, the people that are helping neighbors, all of the brothers and sisters that are working in, say, charity and helping others, those that are less well off and less fortunate and everything else, those that are helping elderly people, those that are helping vulnerable people, those that are helping people that have been abused, oppressed in whichever field it is. All of these people are the people we need to elevate. Amongst them, we need to elevate, obviously, our ulama and scholars and everything else. So the right things are up and not the wrong things. At the moment, society gives more credibility to what they call social influencers. Okay, people who've got loads of followers on, say, Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or whatever, and all they're doing is, I don't know, some people they're doing makeup, some people they're doing boxing or fighting or whatever it is, jokes and everything else. This is not how it should be, okay? Unless we ourselves create the right kind of role models for other people to look up to, especially our own children and our own loved ones, we're not going to be able to break this vicious circle of people going away into nonsense and not remembering the essence of why they're here. And this will resolve a lot of the issues we're talking about to do with racism and other kind of oppression, where people do not turn a blind eye. So I think, these kind of reminders are really, really important. Look, we all have to start somewhere. It's not that we're going to change the world overnight, but if we can change our own household first, and then maybe on our kind of next door neighbors, 2 or 3 people on our street, and maybe the whole street. That's one street that is actually looking out for each other. That's one street that's got each other's back. And then maybe you can expand it out to your estate, and it can expand out to your local area. And that's how it works. Relying on politicians to do our work is not going to solve the issue as well. We have to take some of the responsibility on this. And our politicians should be doing what our wishes are. So we need to get into kind of work, proper kind of strategy and idea on this. But it needs to come from Islamic values. That's the most important thing, I think. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the Prophet Muhammad SAW said that the best of mankind are those who are most beneficial to mankind. And if you can't be there to benefit people, then really you're not, you haven't understood Islam properly. Islam is about bringing benefit to society, to humanity, and the Prophet ﷺ was the person who brought benefit and comfort and succor and justice to societies. Look, he encouraged, when he came into Medina, what was one of the first hadith that is reported about the Prophet ﷺ coming to Medina? Yeah, he built the mosque. No, he said, spread the peace. Spread the salam, get to know one another, greet one another, spread the salam, feed the poor. So do social action, be engaged in society, meet people, and help people, find the people who are deprived, who don't have, and give them food, give them some hope. And then what did he say? So he said, spread the peace, spread the salam, feed the poor, and when the people are asleep, stand in prayer to your Lord. This is it. This is what it is. You have to have. You have to know the people. You have to be in society. You have to support the underclass, the underprivileged, and you have to have a spiritual connection with Allah. And this is the recipe to success. This is the recipe to success. Where and in Ramadan we need to connect again to that heritage that we have available there for us. Alhamdulillah. And inshallah, when we do that, like Azad you said, when we do that in our own families and in our own streets and communities, then change will happen. Change will happen, inshallah.
Inshallah. Okay, brothers and sisters, we kind of have not got an end time to the show, but we do want to kind of have an idea. Maybe another half an hour we're going to end. So I just want to kind of move the discussion on a little bit more. So we're not going to be on air for a good few days until next Friday. So it's like 5 days, and then we're going to be more into Ramadan. I just want to kind of understand, in terms of your daily activities, what is it that you're focusing on? So, like one of the things I'm missing is, every Ramadan is like a tradition. Those of you who've been to East London Mosque since it's been open, there used to be a room called the Hafiz room where the Hufaz used to be taught. And it's not used for that purpose anymore. It's more of a volunteers room at the moment. But what a few of us have done from back in the day when it used to be a room for Hufaz is we recite and the Quran there on a daily basis, especially in Ramadan, like basically from all day. There's people in there reciting in group, and I really actually miss that. Like seeing all the different brothers there. Some of our elder generation, some younger ones there, and everything else. I really miss that. But I'm trying to keep it alive as much as I can at home. So obviously the tilawa is still there as a priority. But also, I think, the thing I'm missing is going out there, engaging with lots of different people, seeing the brothers and sisters at Taraweeh, and other places in fundraisers, in iftars, and all of these kind of stuff. That's gone. And that's not there no more. So I kind of miss that a little bit. So I'm replacing that a little bit more with the time I'm spending with the family. I'm having now actually regular iftar at home. And it's kind of like, it's shock to everyone's system. It's like, my kids are like, oh, right, that's like the third day in a row Dad's at home. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, yeah, we're on a lockdown. You can't go out, right? So it's all of that kind of stuff. But I think the biggest achievement and change, and I think the barakah Allah has given, is that as a family we're doing the salah together and the tarawih and everything else together. And it's not been like that ever. We've never done the tarawih together like this, and actually the feeling is actually quite good. It's actually really, really good. And before people get too worried and concerned, we're not, we don't know the whole Quran and everything else. You could do it with the small surahs and everything else, or you can actually read a mushaf. You can hold a mushaf and read it. You could do it on your phone, whichever way works for you, and you can still do it. But it's important that it's that collective thing. So I think overall for me, that family time, that family connection has been a huge benefit. And I think that will hopefully be the new change that comes in my life anyway.
Alhamdulillah.
Okay, everyone else just sit there in silence.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, I've already said that in terms of me as well. Like, we need to try and do Ramadan as a family. Try and engage everybody in Ramadan. But I think, you know what it is? In the month of Ramadan, the clear objective is to attain taqwa. Is to become more God conscious, God fearing, in awe of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, increase the love of Allah and the fear of his punishment. The goal of Ramadan has to be taqwa. It has to be a personal objective. We know ourselves the best, we know our strengths. We definitely know our weaknesses. We know what we need to improve on. And if we're serious about our deen, as we claim to be men of this ummah and women of this ummah. We claim to be people, who are on the deen, mashallah, tabarakallah. We wear the jubba, we wear the hijab, and, the outward manifestation of our religion is there. But really, what is it that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants? Allah is not worried about your clothes and your outward appearance. He wants to know that your heart is clean and your heart is pure and your heart has iman and taqwa in it. And so how do we attain iman and taqwa? This is the question, right? So alongside the family, engaging with the family, we need to find those moments. We need to find those moments in the day and the night where we connect to Allah and we connect to him alone, just me and Allah. So for example, Fajr. Before the Salah of Fajr, after you've had your suhoor, are you sitting down on your musalla? And are you making tawbah to Allah? Are you waiting for the salah? Are you doing the dhikr of Allah? Are you thinking about the day that's about to come and how you are going to improve yourself and improve your family and improve your community? Are you thinking about the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and how they're suffering and how they're being patient and how they have istiqamah against all the ibtila that they face, all the trials and tribulations? That's a moment. The moment just before Fajr is one of those moments. On the Jummah day, the last hour between Asr and Maghrib, are you using that time again to increase your ibadah, to increase your dhikr? So what I'm saying is, aside from all of that stuff, the public shows of ibadah, the Quran recitation, the salah, getting the children together, all of that, where are your singular, private, secluded moments with Allah? Find them and make them really powerful, and try to cry. You know, we men and women, we don't really cry because we're tough, we're strong, you know, crying. No, Rasulullah used to weep until his beard was drenched in tears. Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu used to weep until his beard was drenched in tears. Umar ibn al-Khattab used to weep until his beard was drenched in tears. They used to cry. The best of the men, the most courageous, the most fearsome, the most powerful, the most knowledgeable, they used to cry to Allah. We should cry to Allah. We should acknowledge our sins and our mistakes and our faults to Allah, and we should cry to Him. So tears for the sake of Allah and capturing those moments, and of course spending Ramadan with your family and engaging them is the three things that I would say we really need to do, and we need to step that up as we're approaching the last 10 days of Ramadan. And listen, guys, ayyama ma'dudat, these are counted for days. The days are going to run out. We're in the 4th night already. Just like that, it's the 4th night of Ramadan already. Before you know it, it's going to be over and we're going to be regretful. So don't let that happen. Capture it, inshallah.
Yeah, and the other thing I think brothers and sisters need to bear in mind here, that Ramadan is not just one-off that you want to do it in Ramadan and then in 3-4 days after Ramadan or 1 week after Ramadan, you know, you haven't taken any of the virtues or the blessing or the learning from Ramadan as well. And one key thing that brothers and sisters need to bear in mind is that after Ramadan, if you're continually doing those actions and deeds that you were doing in Ramadan, it's a good sign that your Ramadan was also accepted as well. So I've seen, and the way I target myself is that I want to do things that I can do regularly. I want to improve on, so that I can continue with it as much as I can, even if it's bare minimum. You know, set that so that you can continue doing it. Just to kind of like give a big thanks to Brother Bilal, who posted something on social media. Now he took the opportunity to do his exercise just before iftar, so 1 hour or 1.5 hours up before iftar, and he was cycling, and he posted this message while he was cycling that, you know, while you're cycling, you can still remember Allah, you can still do your zikr, you know, you can do it sitting, lying, in whatever situation you are in. And it's very important, even if you're stuck at doing something or you're at somewhere, you know it's quite important, those times that have been mentioned, you know, and you can do zikr, you can recite the surahs in your mind, you know, just knowing those times are very important, not wasting them. Whatever you're doing, even if you're cycling, you know, you could be remembering Allah at that time, and you can make that whole cycling experience or your exercise into ibadah as well. Yeah, so there's a lot of things people are doing out there. You know, you just got to have that intention why you're doing it for. Don't just do it for the sake of doing it. Have an intention to link to your spirituality, to your creator. Yeah, and this is the month where we're going to have to do that. My key thing this Ramadan is to read the Quran as many chapters as possible in English. You know, and try and get a good understanding. So that's kind of my kind of goal. I do my best to do that as well. And now also the key thing I'd like everyone to remember is also that because we've got so much time is also very dangerous for us. A lot of us got too much time. A lot of us are, you know, hours and hours we're on social media, watching other people backbiting, watching other people doing silly things. You know, you're just preoccupying yourself on social media. You know, you just got to say to yourself, what am I doing? Am I wasting my time? Could that time be put into something more productive? Is it ibadah that I'm doing while, you know? So I think also the danger is having too much time and you're not doing the positive actions that you need to do could be also a waste of time, because you've got to remember, you know, Kalam could correct me, yeah, you know, some people are going to fast and they're just going to be hungry. That's all it is. If Allah doesn't accept their intention, if Allah doesn't accept their deeds, all you've done is you just hungered yourself. You just kind of wasted, the whole of Ramadan, and you got no virtue, no blessing out of it. You don't want to be one of those. We don't want to be one of those. So we want to make sure our intention is there, our action is correct as well, and we utilize the time that we've got, because that time will go. Now think of those people who didn't reach Ramadan. They haven't come. Brother Azad was mentioning about that room where people go and recite, and that some of the murabbis who are doing that are passed away. We can't see them. We couldn't even go to their janazah prayers. Yes, so many deaths have taken place in the community because of COVID-19 that we've not had the chance to go and pray for them, do the janazah, not even bury them as well. Yeah, it's only after Ramadan and when the lockdown is over that we're going to be counting who we've lost. We've lost people from all different sections of the community leaders, elders, middle-aged people have passed away as well. So it's a blessing, and we should thank Allah for Allah giving us time to actually fast, and maybe tomorrow morning some of us might not even wake up as well. That we may not have that life. Allah may not give us that chance. So we should value what we've got. We should appreciate what we got. We're in the blessed month of Ramadan, and make the most of it. Don't waste it as much as you can. And I concur with Brother Azad as well. There's a lot of practical things that we could do in the family, and we're doing it. It's a shock for myself. It's the longest time I've spent. That's the most iftar I've had with the family. Yes, in a normal Ramadan, I'll be out there, iftar somewhere else, fundraising, doing whatever activism, all out in the community. But obviously now with the family, a lot of that spending time, that will be there. That will be given now, Just got to make the most of it, inshallah.
Yeah, we should be grateful. We should be grateful to Allah, because you know what it is. I think honestly, we've neglected our families. Like those activists, those people, community leaders, those people that are got big jobs and busy lifestyles. We have. Let's put our hands. We've neglected our family. Allah says, "Save yourself and your family from the fire." So that's where it starts. It starts with yourself and your family. Society, the fundamental units of society is the family. So really, I think Allah's recollaborating us. He's given us this opportunity to say, you know what, you've got it wrong, guys. You've been out there saving the whole world. You've not even saved yourself. You've been out there doing all of this stuff, but you've forgotten your family. So now what Allah has given us the opportunity is to say, you know what, think about yourself, think about your family, and then go out there. Do it for yourself and your family, but then go out there. And I think that, alhamdulillah for that, that's an opportunity that Allah has given us, and we should be grateful for that as well, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think some of the comments, Saima is saying similar to what you're saying. It's like, there's a lot of people who didn't make it this Ramadan, so it's a privilege for people to be here. And she's saying that, yes, we're not able to go to the mosque and the big iftar gatherings, but we're spending time with our family and focus on that, which is more important. And Faith is saying, well said, brother. Saima saying setting herself small targets and trying to be consistent with them. Faith is saying that she's trying to complete a khatam of the Quran and reciting as much as possible. And you can send a hadith with writing a post to loved ones and writing beautiful things, Umaira is saying. So I think, look, it's about dealing with our situation and looking at the silver lining. And because for a Muslim, there's a silver lining in everything. Because we know things don't happen without the qadr of Allah. Allah has planned all of these things. And as believers, we accept them and we try to adjust with it, but also look at the opportunities Allah has given us. And I think Kalam hits the nail on the head on that. It's like many of us have been neglectful of our families. So this is an opportunity to make up for that and re-energize for whatever the future holds. And inshallah, the future will always be positive, will always be bright for the Muslim, for the one who's got iman, the one who has belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There can be nothing but positivity. If Allah has given us another day, it's because He's given us another day to remember Him and seek His forgiveness. And if he takes us away at a certain time, it was beneficial for us to go, because maybe we were going to end up doing far worse things than what we were doing. So every day, every decision, everything that happens, alhamdulillah ala kulli hal, that's the way it is. And I think we just focus on that. Okay, let's just do a couple more messages. Well, I think the last message was there is Sad Zenich is saying, can I also add that taqwa and ibadah can also be in other forms such as meditation, cooking, going for a walk, appreciating nature, mindful of Allah's creation, awareness of your breath being, of course. It's taking looking at every single thing and seeing the beauty and the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's just like, look, the nature, like back of my house, right, it's not a big garden or anything. It's like a playground. It's got a few trees and things like that, right? But I've never seen so many different types of birds in my life. And this is all because of the lockdown. So you got kind of, I'm appreciating the nature. I appreciate it, like, wow, in this country we've got so many different types of birds, because I just thought we just had pigeons and sparrows, right, and the odd crow here and there. But, there's so many different types. So, yes, all of these things are really, really important. And, of course, look, we got to look out for each other, okay? We got to not be people of despair. We've got to be people of hope. We've got to kind of ensure that, when we are coming out of this, and we will come out of this, we don't fall back into the slumber that we were in. If after 2 months, 3 months of this lockdown, this change, this pandemic, if we don't come out as stronger, better, and more hopeful people, then it's been an absolute failure. Okay, it's been an absolute failure. This is really important for us to grasp. So, brothers and sisters, I think we are coming to an end. Why is Faith lolling at me for?
You said something that was quite funny. That's why, bruv. You're so funny you don't even know it, bruv.
Wow, mashallah.
That's how funny you are, mashallah.
I thought I was like being...
No, in between all the seriousness and look, Umara is saying, can you tell us a funny joke story, Easy Talk? I thought we've been doing that all night. We've been trying our bestest to try and make you laugh and enjoy the show and be funny, but gosh, it's quite tough, isn't it? You guys are tough cookies to crumble, isn't it?
Tell us a children's show joke. Come on, you must remember one.
A children's show joke. Why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know. Why did the chicken cross the road?
Because it could, innit? Saima is saying, فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ? Which of the favors of your Lord can you deny? Did you get that joke, Azad Bhai? Why did the chicken cross the road? Because it could.
Yeah, okay. I got it. Anyway, Mara is definitely a Cage supporter. She's enjoying a Cage coffee in a coffee mug. Okay, Faith, thanks for telling me you were laughing at the birds. Okay, I didn't know that one. Why was that funny? But I'm being serious.
Because there's more than there's more than crows, pigeons, and what did you say? What was the third one? Vultures. Did you say vultures?
No, pigeons, sparrows, and crows.
Yeah, there's mockingbirds, nightingales, robins.
Jays. There's been a lot of jays.
Parrots.
Not parrots.
Sparrows.
I said sparrow. Bro, if you see a parrot, right, that means it's escaped from someone's house.
Yeah. Well,
I don't blame him.
It became quite a nice roast.
Yeah, I don't blame those birds coming along and popping up now, because if you think about the reduction of vehicles and cars on some of our main streets and that have reduced considerably. Like I live on Mile End Road here. It's one of the most polluted road in probably Tower Hamlets here, right? And because the limits on cars like passing by now, there's like kind of fresh air now, and obviously these birds are not going to come out. So there's a lot of different blessings, they're definitely. How many people have actually gone for a walk after Fajr just as the sun rises? Yeah, if you can hit some of the parks and at that time, you will see a different type of kind of like blessing as well. Yeah. So there are times, yes, everything that you do with good intention will help you. And there's a lot of new things will be coming out as well. But I think what people shouldn't do also, a lot of people make mistakes, is like they spend a lot of the time sleeping during the daytime as well, and that's also a very big problem. Yeah, because it's not really the real essence of Ramadan as well. You've got to make sure you don't sleep the whole through, and then suddenly at iftar, like you're waking up and you're getting ready to have your iftar and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so I think we just need to encourage people to be a bit more productive with their day. I know it's tiring. Some people will actually go sleep after Fajr because it's not worth going to sleep now, and some people got to work as well. Some people got to get up in the morning and they got to do their work as well. Yeah. So, and those people who are not working or have the time, don't waste that time. Put that into good use with whatever productive with good intention behind it.
Definitely, definitely. Abu Musa is saying parakeets. Yes, that's right. And you can even hear owls. That's true. You can also even hear owls. Mashallah, bird watching has become the thing now. Okay, and also star watching. Hey, you know what? It's the only time it's halal, the bird watching. Okay, so don't get carried away. Yeah. Stargazing, right? And so many people have become astronomers now. Right, I'm not even joking. People taking regular picture of Venus. They even taking picture of satellites. They even telling me what star constellation things are. You know, wow, mashallah, look at that. This is, talk about getting in touch with nature, right? So, you know, look at how much benefit all of this is bringing. So we've got to always remember, look on the bright side of things, as we say. Okay, let's. I think we should finish there. It's been a good show so far. Just round up with a couple of things. So just from my part, we are going to be doing the competition. So brothers and sisters, $4,500, and then we shave all our hair off. It's 2 weeks, so not by next Sunday, but the following Sunday, the money has to be in. Otherwise, it's not happening.
Yep. Just want to plug in, I'll be raising for Al-Shifa Hospital. Is one of the main hospitals in Gaza City. We're going to look after and pay for the doctors and nurses, and also the maintenance of the ambulances there. It's something that we've been doing regularly in order to kind of continue the medical support that is desperately needed. Saving a life is very, very important. So inshallah, brothers and sisters, you know, like all three of us got fantastic causes, you know, so please donate. So that money will be helping Human Aid to kind of like work on the ground, because we work with conflict zone areas, people who are in conflicts, who are oppressed, you know, inshallah, especially the people of Gaza. Last Friday, we spoke about the Palestinian cause, and it's one of those ways that we can continue really, really helping people on the ground, especially saving lives directly with medical care and support, inshallah. Yeah, so yes, please, all the support, and I'm more than happy to now cut my hair off. I was a bit reluctant, you know.
No, don't do it now. Don't do it now.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
Wait until we get the money. I'll be good plug there. I'll be raising for Muslim Aid's Need is Greatest campaign. So the Need is Greatest campaign is a fund where wherever the need is, wherever an emergency strikes, wherever the crisis is, we're able to respond and support within the first 72 hours, which is the most critical hours. So that's the campaign. So if you gave that money, then your money would be spread across all of the projects and the causes that we're responding to under the Need is Greatest campaign. So yep, ready to shave this hair. Look at that beautiful hair. Gonna go if we get the monies. It's all about the monies. That's what it's about. It's about the dollar bills. It's about the pounds. It's about the sterling. Yeah, get me, like, get the money. I take my hair out. Get me.
You know, people were asking for Mr. Wong. I think Mr. Wong might do a cameo next week. Maybe, who knows? Behind the screen. Maybe we'll get a nice little parda for Mr. Wong. You know, what do you think?
Somebody's saying, "What are you eating, brother?" I'm having. Let me show you. Chocolate brownie with some double cream and some mango squash juice. Oof, mashallah.
Mashallah. That's really good. I'd love to say I'm having my caramel tart, but none of you have made it. So
it's not going to happen. It's a lockdown.
Or the shepherd's pie. That's not even happening. You know, I hope to be next Friday or Sunday sitting here with a plate in my hand going like this.
Jupiter's out. It's the easiest time to spot it during this time of the year. So look out for Jupiter. Yeah. It's somewhere near Uranus.
What can you?
Jupiter, just in terms of the compass, I'm going to completely forget what Kalam was just trying to do there. All right. Okay, it's usually northwestern, right? So if you that's what Kalam meant, right? So if you look northwestern, and you know what? I'll tell you what. Last night I actually saw a shooting star.
Listen, brother Azad, how are you seeing it? Have you got these long telescopes or something?
No, bro, I was looking at the sky southwards, right? And I saw this light just whiz by, right? That's the shooting star.
No, those are the aliens. No, Azad, those are the aliens escaping COVID-19 from the planet Earth, mate.
Yes.
I just thought it was Trump trying to do a fast one, you know what I mean? After having the Dettol disinfectant injected in him. Hey, you know what? Actually, I didn't even know this was possible, but there are some Americans who actually injected themselves with disinfectant. and they've been called to hospitals in New York and other places. I mean, crazy as next level, man.
It's just. Look, I apologize, guys. Jupiter's easily spotted right now. I apologize for that little innuendo there. And Azad by shooting star innuendo. I apologize on his behalf as well for that one.
Shooting stars? What? Wait, listen. Why are you not believing me? What did you think I saw?
No, you saw it. It could be a firework, bruv.
No, it can't be a firework because a firework can't be that high up and it can't go that fast.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, probably is then.
Seen shooting stars in Desh when I was in Desh as well. I've seen them as well, right? And I've seen them in films as well.
So Faith is saying shooting stars, birds. What else is going to be next? What else is?
I'll let you know next week, right? When I am observing the thing that is called nature, I will let you know what else pops up.
Inshallah. All right. So alhamdulillah. So people are ready to log off as well. Umara is saying thank you so much. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless, reward, and bless you, my dear brothers. I mean, so kind of you to entertain us during lockdown in Ramadan. I mean, ya Rabb. A lot of people are finding things funny and what the hell is going on and all of that. Can we please talk about politics and healthy eating?
Excuse me, I have a witness. Asya is saying it's true about the shooting star because her 3-year-old nephew said he saw it too. Allah. See, I have a witness now as well.
But what's the meaning of a shooting star?
Yeah, and Rabia is asking, so what did you wish for, CCM? I wish for caramel tart. That's what I wish for, a caramel tart. So let's see if my wish is going to come true.
There's a Quranic verse, isn't it, where Shaitan tries to penetrate the lowest sama, the lowest heaven, in order to listen to Allah and the angels' dialogue. And the angels, they throw something at the shayateen to stop them from coming. And that is what some people say. The Mufassirin, they say that is the shooting stars. Yeah. Allahu alam if that's true, the case or not. But that's an understanding, I guess, out there.
Okay, I think, look, we should call it a night now before midnight, and we're getting into City Zone. This is the ET zone.
Yeah,
because, you know, come on, people can see us, bruv. Yeah,
we have to behave. We have to behave.
They can. They definitely.
These things are so easily recorded now, isn't it?
It's all right. We don't mind. Like, you know, there's, you know, we're like what Teflon. Easy Talk is Teflon proof, right? You know what I mean? Everything just bounces off us.
Easy Talk is like that tracksuit suit that we all used to wear in the late 90s, isn't it? Or the mid 90s, the tracksuit suit. Mashallah, okay. Nothing.
Brothers and sisters, hope you enjoyed the show. We'll be back next Friday, 11 o'clock. So next Friday and Sunday, 11 o'clock. Have a think about doing a consortium to do the fundraiser. We'd love to raise the money, obviously, and it's for good causes. For Kalam is going to give it to Muslim Aid, where the need is the greatest. Abjo is giving it to Human Aid and Shifa Hospital, and I'm giving it to Cage to protect us and the Ummah from the oppression that is taking place. So it's 3 very good causes, 3 lovely hairs that are all going to disappear, right? If you guys can make it, and I hope you guys make it, inshallah. And if need be, we will chip in a $5 here and there as well. Okay, right. So hopefully you enjoyed the show. Jazakumullah khair. Pass the word on. We're going to be on again next Friday and Sunday. So from me, Assalamu alaikum.
And from me, Assalamu alaikum.
And from me, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.